Say hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Okay. I'm going to demonstrate how to do the city thing for you. It's the last assignment of this quarter. We started on it before Christmas. I always hope you guys will nail these things down. This is our vanishing point. I'm going to put VP on there. That helps you remember what it is. Hopefully you got a ruler that's clear. Mine is not. Okay, I'm going to do a building right here on the edge. And I'm only using a marker so that you can see it better on film. Normally I wouldn't start with a marker. I'd do that later. So here is the side of our building. We're going to make it just like they did in the movie. Make sure your paper is nice and square. And then what you can do is line your ruler up with the edge of the paper. And if it's nice and straight, then you will get a straight line that doesn't look cattywampus. I want to see you use that at home. Oh, Mom, don't do that cattywampus, okay? So here is our building. I got to make that line longer. And I'm going to do this. And then I'll come up on the side. Don't worry about, I would rather go too short than too long because you have to pull it back then. Okay, so there's the side of our building. Modern buildings do tend to be a bunch of rectangles. Now, the side that faces the street is going to be to the vanishing point. And I believe our movie put a sidewalk there, so let's put in a sidewalk. And then we have to have a curb. And then on the other side, we will have the other side of the street. And we will have a curb. And then we have the sidewalk. Now, if you go along the side of a street, you will see that they have seams along it. That's because they have to make these sidewalks in little patterns like this. So it would be like that. Anyone that's across where people are walking is going to be across like this. You don't want them angled up. You don't want your people falling in the street. Then they get hurt, and then you get sued. And pretty soon you don't have any money to run your city. So we are going to put the other side of the building in, straight up and down, with the edge of the paper. Let's see if I can do this without screwing it up. May have already screwed it up. Now I have an idea. This is where being creative helps. So you come down like that. Oh, and I have this part that's sticking up. I know what I will do. And there we have a flag. So see? All right. And that's why you will do it in pencil first. Because a lot of you don't like to be creative. I don't know why, but you don't. Okay. So we'll put 2 windows. And they're going to be roughly here and here. We'll come down a bit. Put the top of another window. And I think you can pretty much eyeball it, but we'll see. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check with my pencil to see how wide I want to make these windows. Then I can always erase that line. So, I don't know why I like to make noise when I come down with a pencil, but I do. Okay, so here's our windows. Put it come all the way down for a bit. All right, so will that work? Yeah, I can make these windows bigger because nobody says they have to be the same size. And maybe this is like a penthouse in a very rich person's house. Lots of people who are rich like to live in penthouses so they can look down on the rest of us. Okay. So we're going to put And there's a student in my class named Zion, and I'm going to name this building after him. So we'll do it in pencil first because I want to see how that works. So see how I've got my windows there? Now I want to do Zion on the building, and also it's short too, so that's a plus. So let's make it Z-I-O-N. So this is Zion Towers. I don't think I want that Z that wide though. So I will make it like this. So you can name a building in there after you. Okay. All right. And then we're going to put, we put a line under it, make sure it's on the vanishing point and above. Okay, so I think it'd stick out better this way. There we go. I could take it all the way up. Yeah, I could take it all the way up. Yeah, that pops out better. So this is the Zion building. You can use your own name on it. You could make it, Kizron Towers or anything you want. You could make it Nick Friedwald's banking place, just so you have the words go to the vanishing point as well. Will this take you a while? Yes, it will. You're not going anywhere. None of us are. Not for a while. So this is the Zion building. This is where Zion lives up here. So then we have a couple of rooms down here. And then we'll have a big door at the bottom. Let me make sure these windows are lined up. So across the front, we want a large door like this. So do we want it set back? I could set it back so it has like a place where people can stand if it's raining. So we'll have it go back here. And then that goes to the vanishing point. And you'll notice that I did not go 400 miles an hour when I did this, because I don't know why that lady thinks she makes a picture better if she goes really, really fast. I don't think it makes it better at all. So we're going to bring this down here. Now, you're going to have to go up a step. I'm not going to write watch your step on the step, though, because they've got to know how to do that themselves. So we make sure it's straight up and down, and then we find that little corner there. And this will be in shadow. And you do not have to fill it in completely. You can just make it kind of like this, you know, that says, hey, this is in shadow. Okay. So then we'll have two doors there inset into this little walk or little porch-like area. And then you'll have two bars that you push to open it. And those bars will appear to be one, but they're not really. They're one on each door. I'll have them go all the way across. So what you're doing is really creating your own city here. Now we'll put a window up here. This is probably an office building with a penthouse apartment above. And once you get used to making these things, they're not that hard at all. It does require that you lean your pen or pencil into the ruler. That means that if you've got a wooden ruler that has this metal piece on it, don't take it out. It's there for a reason. It's to help you make a straight line. It isn't there for you to pick at it like some chicken in the farmyard. Well, that's what they do. They rip them out, and then then they whack the ruler on the side of their desk, and pretty soon it has big chunks out of it, and they have to use the back of the ruler to make a straight line, because they always use the front. Okay, so that's our first building. Let's go ahead and take our sidewalk all the way up to the vanishing point. Now, in the film, she had a building that had a peaked roof. Miss Fleming, what's a peaked roof? I will show you what a peaked roof is. But let's start with making the building, just the box part. So we have this right here. It's the box part of the peaked building. Let's get this so I don't go too far up. There's just so many flags you want to put on any street. Okay, so this is our peaked roof. Now, how do you find the center of this? Well, you could measure it, but another way that artists use is this. They make an X from one corner to the other, like this. And that shows you where the center of the roof is, okay? So I'm going to go put this ruler up, and it doesn't matter if you use the back of it. And I'm going to make sure my paper and my ruler are lined up, and see where that X intersects? That's where my peak of my roof is. Maybe I'll make it tall. And then you make the two triangles that make the peaked roof. So here and here, my two triangles. Now, from there you go straight back. So you just go straight back from there, and you've got your building. Now, you could leave this halved like that. You don't have to. Here's my eraser. I hate to use these erasers, but I don't know where my good one is. And if you have come to school and I've put a package together with you, you have a white eraser. And unlike regular pencil erasers, they do not dye. Some of these pink erasers, they get hard as rocks and they don't erase, and they're just not worth the powder and shot to blow them up with. Okay, now I'm going to do this in pencil. We'll put the door in the street. We'll try putting some stairs up later, but it's not ready. Let's just put a regular old door on it. Well, as regular as I make doors, because you know me, it's got to be funky if it's going to be a door. It's going to be a double door. And about that wide. It's going to be slightly shorter than the door next door. Yeah, it has to be shorter because it's further away, and that's part of perspective. Things get smaller. So here's our doors. And we're going to put, since this is probably an older building than this, we're going to put a little transom right here on the door. Miss Fleming, what's a transom? Well, it's a little skinny window above the door that you could let, before air conditioning, people would have these open and people couldn't crawl through them because they were too small, but they would let in air. And then it often had a double glass here, and the glass was usually pretty big. And why didn't they just break the glass and get in? Well, because this glass was very, very heavy. If you live in an older house, you know what I mean. People could just whack themselves on that door trying to butt their way in, and they can't. They'd have to use some kind of very heavy metal tool. So see how we have the double door, and we'll put a door handle here and a door handle here, but we'll make it long because older houses tend to have those big ones. And then up here, we will have a window in the attic of this place. And let's put it down like that. What if I want to draw it open, Miss Fleming? Okay, we can do that. Don't you like my imitation of you guys? Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my window at the top, and I want to have it open. I want to have one of them open. So it'll start here, but it'll be open like this, so it appears larger than the window itself. Now I'll ink that in later. And let's say I want to put in, oh, what's this called? You know, it's where it catches the water and comes down, downspout, I don't know. So this has a roof, and we can give it this kind of a roof. Roof, roof, roof. So just, oh, we don't want it through the flag. Unless it's a transparent flag. Could be, I don't know. You could put your initial on the flag and say the town is named after you. It's your town. Have fun with it. Okay, so there's our tiles on our roof. Okay, let's say we want to show that this is inset. In the movie, she shows this as inset. This line here on the inside would go to the vanishing point. It shows you how much of a sill, windowsill, you would have on the outside. So, and she darkened it in, so that'd be a 7 on your value scale. Okay. This house would have double hung windows, and I'll show you what that means. These single hung windows are more modern. And since this is somebody's home up here, Zion's home, you know, he wants to have, he probably has air conditioning though. Probably it's something on the roof. But let's give him some blinds. He gets to sleep in, so he has his blinds halfway down. All right, next door would be the Cal's house, and she likes older houses. So hers are like this. And she has that kind of roof. And then, let's see, she would have, her house would be probably pretty symmetrical. So she'd have 2 windows right here. Now let's make them long. Let's make them long. So they're this long. which means the bottom of it would be straight. Let's give her a balcony. Okay, so the balcony bottom would go to the vanishing point and be pretty much right here. Okay, so I'm going to ink these in. And who needs this kind of drawing? Well, architects and engineers use this kind of drawing. It's very precise. Also, if you're a city planner and you want to show, and let's make them split so they're French doors for her. Because this is an older house, very elegant. Okay. And this is her balcony, which is going to go straight back into the house. And then this part goes to the vanishing point. But we got to make it high enough that the decal doesn't fall off. So let me put a post here first so I know where to turn down. How's my time?
You are at 21 minutes.
Okay.
Is this the only video we plan on doing today?
I think so.
Then you can go on for a little bit longer.
Okay. So this is Decal's balcony. Let's give her a little knob to hand on to. And then this is straight back because it's the wall closest to us. We've got to attach it to the wall. It's got to go all the way back to the building itself. So there's Decal's. And this one is like this. So she has to step down when she goes out to the balcony. So she has to be careful there. Let's show the bottom of the floor there, which goes to the vanishing point. Okay, so now she has a balcony. And we will again frame it in. I'm not going to make it quite as dark as the other thing. So you can tell she painted her house light colors. Okay. Let's make sure the top of that goes to the vanishing point and lines up with the other French door. And double doors like this are called French doors. So she has a handle here. And we'll put some glass in there. Remember I said that you could show glass by making 3 dashes like this? That's what the lady did in the movie. And you will see that in cartoons and stuff. And that tells you that something is glass. So we're making these glass down there. Let's give her a lamp right here. Now this one will appear slightly larger only because it's closer to us. It's actually the same size. I've attached those there. And then I'm going to make sure we have a line here. Okay, so you're getting the idea of how to do perspective, I hope. Remember, all the bottoms of the windows and the tops of the windows go to the vanishing point. Now, if something like this is standing out like that, that means that it's open. And so it's facing us. I'm always amazed at how difficult these pens can be. You do not have to do it in pen. If you do it in pencil, that's fine. Now, for something like a sidewalk, they have to go back like this. You don't want your people falling off into the street. And then I wouldn't bother about lines in the street. I'm not so interested in that. I'm interested in, do you understand how to do these kinds of things, to do the tops and the bottoms of the windows. Remember, this window is open. That's why it's just a long rectangle. But we still want to show that the other window is there. So we will draw the line there. and a double line there. And see, we have that, and let's give this a frame. You could probably sketch this in, because you've already been very tight with your vanishing point, so you know you're inside a doorway. It also softens it, makes it a little more realistic. Now these would be slightly higher because they're closer to us. And let us put some posts on here because Decal has a dog and she doesn't want it falling out. They have to go all the way down to the floor, so I have to make sure they go to the floor of the balcony. Might want to make the balcony just a little heavier in case she wants to drag all her friends out here. That's something that happens a lot on holidays when during normal times. Too many people get on a balcony and then the balcony collapses. Just keep that in mind. And don't go following everybody out onto the balcony if there's 20 people out there. Those balconies don't always hold that many people. Okay, so we have... Well, you hear about it, especially in New Orleans, because some of those balconies are over a century old and things happen. Also in buildings that are real new and not well made. You don't know about it till it's too late.
All right. So you're following.
Yeah. So here's Decal's house. And she lives next door to another tower of a building. So we're going to make it really tall. We can't even see the top of it. It's slightly behind hers. Make sure your paper is lined up. You don't want a crooked building, for goodness sakes. The building inspector will get you, and then you'll have to tear it all down. It'll cost you a lot of money. We don't want to cost ourselves a lot of money. So this building is very tall, and it has layers, just like the one in the movie we watched. I'm going to make Decal's roof there. So the side here, it's a bigger building than any of these other buildings, so it goes back further. Okay, and then straight down. Oops, attempt to go straight down. Only if your pen works. Okay, so then there's a couple of buildings like this downtown, and they appear to have a building on top of the building. So there's a building up here. And this time when it goes to the vanishing point, it's almost straight down. Bizarre, isn't it? Okay, but that's what perspective does. Now, we can't see the whole top of the building. It's set back a little bit like this. So, again, you want to line it up with the building next door. And you want to line it up with your paper. Now, let's take it all the way back. So, see, oops, didn't make it. I don't know why this pen is so particular. But okay, so see how we have the tiles on the roofs. Now, any windows on this side would face us, and I am going to make them straight. Why am I going to do that? Well, I think they're pretty far away from us. So, and then we can't really see that one. And then you want to go straight up and down because this side faces us. Okay, and it lines up with that because it's part of that same building. And this is very modern, so it's going to make Decal's house look particularly different from it. It's like all these centuries of buildings mixing up. Okay, let me put some ink on this part too. But it is better if you do it in pencil first, because when you're new at this and you really don't understand it yet, you want to be able to change your mind. And even if you're experienced, occasionally you want to be able to change your mind. But with ink, you can't change your mind. You got to adapt. So you put a flag on it. Let me just, I don't know. That's Zion's personal flag. I don't know what it means. Only he does. Okay, let's make this flagpole a little more obvious. Okay, put some more windows back there. I think she thought it was boring to put the windows in, but I don't think they're that boring. And you might want to put glass in them like this, or maybe what you want to do is make them black with white stripes for the glass.
You do gotta wrap it up soon.
Okay, so that, and then you just do the same thing on the other side. So again, this time we'll start with a building here. And we'll take the top of the building to the vanishing point, and it's the same all over again. Nothing exotic. It's really not that hard. You just have to practice with it. I'm going to put this guy right on the edge. Okay, and if you're putting a name on it, have it go to the vanishing point. You may have to make the names rather block letters. No Gothic, not yet. One day, yes, but not now. All right, that's pretty much how I would do this. You do not have to copy that lady exactly. As you can see, I did not. She didn't put Zion's building in there and DeKalb's fancy house. So here we go. All right, thank you.